Hi, this is Ken Gordon. My apologies for not being with you today. This is an introduction to Mardi Gras and an introduction to riding on a float. Mardi Gras is a season that's wedged between Christmas and Easter. There are specific things that determine when it's going to be. It always starts on January 6th, and the end date for Fat Tuesday is variable. We're going to be having a parade called Crew of Mask. It's going to roll in LaGrange, Georgia in February 2017. Everybody needs a costume. It's a pretty straightforward costume. We do have some shout outs to Mobile. Cowbellions to Rakin Society is going to be a marching crew that wears formal wear or cow costumes, which should provoke some comments. And Order of Chaos is going to be a marching crew within the parade that is dedicated to various costumes. People a lot of times have a lot of fun riding on a float. Marchers are stars, but riders are superstars. Riders have a lot of attention because of throws. Throws don't have any intrinsic value, but they do change people from spectators to participants. And this is one of the key things that distinguishes a Mardi Gras parade from most other parades. The costumes are an appeal to fun. They are enjoyable. If you have things that you like to do or things that you've imagined yourself to do, you can just get into character and have fun with it. We do have a parade lineup that we are playing with at this time. We're going to have equestrian units, antique cars, perhaps some Dragon Con units. This is the route proposal that we have right now, and it's very similar to the Christmas route. And you can see it starts near LaGrange High School. It comes up to Ridley, comes down to Ridley just about to the movie theater, cuts across on Broome, goes down, and we're hoping to make a left turn on Broad Street and go down to Broad and actually go to the tip of the college and come back around on West Harrelson and then back to our starting point. If all goes according to plan, we should be able to line up in Granger Park. We should be able to line up in the parking lot here at the school and the parking lot here. And we should be able to line up along Honeycutt. We should and may desire to line up along this area also, but that remains to be seen. Our parade would start here and go this way. We could have feed-ins coming from here, we could have feed-ins coming from here, and we could have feed-ins coming from here. Disbanding, we would go back to the original places that the units originated. The parade structure, everybody is familiar with seeing the king and the queen and the princesses and the dukes and things like that. These are mostly ceremonial positions. Grand Marshal would be a position of honor. We should have bands, we should have musical groups, but in this parade we're also going to have safety officers, perhaps one safety officer per float, maybe more. We're going to need a lot of volunteers. We're going to need volunteers to be safety officers. We're going to need volunteers to watch materials back at the start point. We're going to need volunteers to take care of the VIPs, and we are hoping to have a few stars in our parade, so it should be fun. And of course, we're going to need drivers. Now, people that are in the parade, a lot of times they'll be marchers, people that are just walking the route, people that ride floats or ride cars, antique cars, or other vehicles such as floats. There'll be people who are associates to Crew of Mask, such as LaGrange Internal Medicine is going to most likely have their own float and ride as associates. But there will also be members of Crew of Mask that ride their floats. Each unit, each car, each band, each float will have one person in charge called a lieutenant. The lieutenant's in charge of that unit, and the lieutenant reports to the captain. Currently, our captains are envisioned to be John Cashin and Ken Gordon. So there's different ways to participate, as we talked about. You could be an individual float rider for the Crew of Mask. You could be an individual marker for the Crew of Mask. You could be a member of the unit, like LaGrange's unit. You could volunteer, or you could just watch the parade. And remember, you're not just a spectator, you're a participant. It's more fun, it's more interactive. If you've ever ridden a float, you know what it's like. But if you've ever ridden a float where you're throwing things, you know the experience is more. Even if the parade route is sparse, you still get a lot of attention. And sometimes you may see fewer people than you expect, and sometimes you may see more people than you expect. Um, you can have a lot of fun even if the float is relatively simple. You could have a perfectly designed little float and have a really good time. Um, and this is a chance for all sorts of people to enjoy. If you're motivated by fun, this is a fun event. If you like the idea of control, there's a lot of control that you exert over the crowds. We are insisting that people be tasteful with this. This is a family parade. Uh, Also, if you like the idea of perfecting things, we're trying to bring parades in LaGrange to a new level of excellence. And if you like peace, you can make a lot of people happy just by throwing little trinkets. So I think there's something for everyone in this sort of a thing. And it is my hope that LaGrange Internal Medicine bands together and enters a float, builds a float, and we will continue to be working with everyone. Nikki Reed is lieutenant for LIM, and Jordan is probably going to be one of the most influential people as far as building the float. Thanks for paying attention. This is Ken Gordon, and I remain available for questions. Look at crewofmask.com, Krewe of mask.com, for further details.